Virginia real estate agents, if you're interested in LPT Realty and you're trying to figure out all the details that you need to know for what it's like to join LPT Realty in the state of Virginia in May of 2023, you definitely want to watch the rest of this video. Today, AJ and I are going through the one-pager, the 7 most important things that you need to know about the benefits of joining and partnering with LPT Realty right now in the middle of 2023. We're getting to it right after this. My name is Marc AJ.
I'm AJ Ackerman.
And we are Elevated Agents.
So I'm super excited today to be going over the one-page summary that LPT Corporate provides to all of the agents that are facilitating the rallies, which the rallies are really exciting. So it's something we can talk about another time. But today I want to get to kind of the nuts and bolts. You know, one of the things that we've created, and maybe you've seen it, maybe you've invested the 80 minutes that it is, but our LPT Explained video goes into a lot more detail. But we wanted to make sure for those of you that have a short attention span, and really we're looking kind of for like the 7 top most important things that agents are looking for at LPT, because if you're watching this, then you have found us and you're interested, right? You have some sort of interest. So today, Marc and I are going to go through the 7 areas. Super excited to share. We're going to try to make this super fast for you, but also educational. You ready for this?
Let's do it.
Awesome. So the first thing is commission splits, right? Agent choice. One of the most beautiful things about LPT Realty is that you first have a choice. You get to decide how you're going to enter the realm of LPT Realty. The first thing is a business builder. So the business builder is a flat fee model. This is a model where you come in, it's $500 per transaction with a $195 fee. Actually, we're going to go into fees next. But the most important thing to know is that it's $500 per transaction with a $5,000 cap. That means after you do 10 core transactions, you go to 100%. This is one of the things that makes the biggest difference of LPT, and why a lot of agents, like literally, I think the majority of agents that sign on with LPT are signing on as business builders. What does that tell you? What that tells you is that a lot of people are focused on putting more money in their pocket while they're selling more real estate. But the other really cool thing is the Rev Share model. So you get to decide that if you want to come in as a Rev Share model, that has a $15,000 cap, right? It's an 80-20 split, $15,000 cap. After you hit your cap, boom, you go to 100%. And so that's the first choice. And one of the first things I tell people when they say, well, what's the difference with LPT? That is one of the biggest differences that you're going to see.
Yeah, so that's what money you're going to actually give in terms of splits, right? So Rev Share, you've got an 80-20 split, so 20% of the commission that you earn is going to be going to the brokerage until you've paid in $15,000. And then we've got our flat fee, our business builder with a $500. But what are you paying in terms of additional fees? Because a question that we get asked a lot is, are there hidden fees, and are there fees that you just don't tell us about? So our fee structure at LPT is very, very easy to understand. You have your split. That's the first part of the money that's going to be coming out. And then from there, there's no monthly fee. So a lot of brokerages are going to have a monthly fee that whether or not you're selling real estate, you're still going to be paying in a monthly fee. We don't have any monthly fee. We don't have any startup fees. So there's no cost to join the brokerage. So what that means is if you are a brand new agent and you join LPT Realty and it takes you 6 months to get your first deal, you're not going to give any money at all to LPT Realty until you actually do that first deal. Now, when you do that first deal, what does that look like? So and our fees are going to be the same for either a Rev Share partner or a business builder. So it's not different for each, just the split's different. So for each of those, you have a $195 transaction fee on every single deal. So deals 1 through infinity, there's a $195 transaction fee. And that transaction fee, again, doesn't change over time. There's some brokerages where before you cap, you have one transaction fee. After you cap, you have another. It's $195 every single transaction. Outside of that, there's one additional fee, and it's a one-time per year $500 annual fee. So this is covering things like your E&O, broker review, all those little fees that some brokerages will kind of put per transaction, where you've got $40 here, $25 there, $60 here. We've just combined it into one fee. You pay one time out of your very first deal. But again, that does not come out until you've actually sold your first deal. So in practice, what does that look like? So let's take the example of you being a business builder, right? So you're on a flat fee, $500 per transaction, $5,000 cap model. Your very first transaction, you can expect $1,195 to be taken out of that transaction. So where does that $1,195 come from? The first $500 is your split, right? That's your flat fee that you're giving. The second $500 is your one-time annual fee that you're paying. One time every single year on the very first deal that you do after your anniversary date. So that takes you up to $1,000, and then you have your $195 transaction fee on top of that. Okay, that's transaction number 1. Transaction number 2 through 10, you're going to expect $695 to be taken out. Again, your $500 from your split, your flat fee, and then your $195 transaction fee. And then deals 11 through infinity is $195. So that's the easiest way to break it down. You're going to be looking at essentially the exact same thing. If you're on the Rev Share, you're just going to be taking the 20% of whatever that commission was and then adding that $695 onto deal 1, $195 at that point in time on deals 2 through infinity. So that's our fee structure. It's very, very simple. It's very easy to understand. It's very easy to calculate how much money you're actually going to get to take home. And you're not trying to figure out like, well, once I cap, what does my transaction fee go to and how does all that work? So very, very simple.
Well, and here's the other question is that, every real estate company has fees of some sorts. And so there's nothing wrong with fees. The question is what is the value that you get for the fees? Do you understand the fees? What value do you get? And so that $500 per year is just one of those fees that goes towards E&O, but it also goes towards the technology and the marketing, where some companies charge, monthly or what have you. But here, everything is included. It doesn't matter whether you're a business builder or a Rev Share partner, you get the same package. And so our third section here is all about the technology and marketing that you get when you become an LPT agent, and you get this right away. It doesn't matter how long it takes you to do your first transaction, you get to start using these tools right away. And so the first one, which is one of the biggest ones, is the listing power tools. This is something that is only for LPT Realty, and it's a beautiful marketing box that you get anytime that you list a house. It has 188 pieces of marketing material. It's got door hangers and postcards and flyers, and we've done a video on that as well, so we're not going to go into detail, but you have access to the listing power toolkit. The other beautiful thing is that you have access to all of this other marketing, things that have your face on it, things that have great information, a lot of things of value that you can give your clients at cost. So there's this free package that you get, which is plenty, and there's a ton of it, but then there's also ability to get this other marketing. The other thing that you get is also Dotloop. That is your online signature contract program that you're going to be able to use. You also get our LPT Connect, which was designed personally by our CEO, Robert Palmer, and it has everything on there for you. It tracks your transactions, it tracks your revenue share, it tracks your stocks. It's a one-stop shop, but here's the other really cool thing is that I'm a big communication person, and what I love the most about LPT Connect is that you get to connect however you want to connect. If you want to talk to somebody at corporate, you can give them a call and say hello, and somebody's going to talk to you and get back to you. You can send an email, but you also can use the chat feature right on your mobile phone or on your computer through LPT Connect. And the other part is Chime. You get your own CRM. Now, I want to make sure that you guys understand with Chime is a beautiful, awesome CRM. It's one of the top in the business. But what's happening right now, and we're doing this, we're going to hopefully do this every month. This is basically good till the end of June. And one thing we didn't explain is that things are changing so fast. Actually, Mark's going to go into it the next section. And so the reason we're updating and changing this is because you're actually going to have the option of choosing what CRM you want in the future. This is powerful because one CRM is not one fits all. Like there's a lot of people that want different type of CRMs depending on your business, on your plan. And so one of the things that we're working on right now that we're going to be getting soon is also Follow-Up Boss. I can say that with confidence because I already know it's in place. And they're already talking to other major CRM companies to be able to give you an option to choose which one you like, or maybe even keep the one you're currently using and then just transfer your content over. Super powerful, so much value, and I'm really excited to be here, and I'm excited for you to share the next one because it's probably one of the big reasons that you guys are here to pay attention.
Yeah, no, that was awesome, AJ. And again, just to kind of what he's talking about, and that's one of the reasons we want to do these videos is because things are changing so rapidly. We're 15 months old as a company. We've added over 3,500 agents in that time. And, the benefits that were available when AJ and I joined last year have just grown so much. It was a no-brainer for us to join LPT Realty at the time. And what we've added since we joined on top of what was already there has been a lot. So that's what we're just trying to keep everyone up to date as we add new CRMs, as we add new tools and new benefits to our agents. We just want everyone, the videos that we did 3 months ago are kind of already out of date. There's just more stuff on top of that. So that's what we want to cover. And again, the fact that you can get all that And what we talked about, there's no monthly fee, there's no startup fee. So what that means is you can join LPT Realty and you can get the full version of Chime and start using that right away. You get listing power tools, all the things that you get without actually paying any money. And that's what Robert has figured out, is if you invest more into your agents up front, even without charging that startup fee and that monthly fee, the chances of keeping those agents over the long term is much higher. So that's what we're trying to do with all of this. One of the huge benefits that a cloud-based brokerage with the Rev Share model offers is the ability to earn residual income over time. Now, residual income is income that you get after a one-time investment, right? You invest time, energy, resources, money into something, and then that pays you a return over time. Revenue share is the option that we have here at LPT Realty that allows us to do that. So what is revenue share? We go through a deep explanation of what it is in our LPT Explain video. We're going to link that up in the corner. But essentially what it is when you bring an agent into the company, when you sponsor an agent, so you're the person who has been most influential in their decision to join LPT Realty. That's who you name as your sponsor. And at that point in time, when an agent that you sponsor sells real estate, a portion of the revenue that's collected goes to you as the sponsoring agent. And that happens 7 levels down. So you can bring on AJ, he's your level 1. AJ brings on somebody, they become your level 2, and it goes down to 7 levels. And there are a certain number of frontline qualifying agents that you need. So agents that are in your top tier that are doing at least one core transaction every 6 months. And after a certain number of those, you unlock different levels. One thing that makes us unique, and we're going to go into that as well, is that we have a much lower threshold for what that agent count is to allow you to actually earn on all 7 levels. But one thing we want to explain as well that makes LPT different than, say, one of the bigger cloud-based brokerage models out there who does have rev share is the way that we actually distribute that revenue share. And so this is important for people to understand, in that, and let's just use EXP as an example. So one thing that EXP does in their revenue share model is they're going to distribute 100% of that cap. So if you've got a $16,000 cap, all $16,000 of that is essentially going to get, has the potential, is available to be distributed. Now there is something that they have called buffer that basically prevents all 16,000 from being distributed, and then also the number of agents that actually have enough qualifying agents to receive all 7 levels is extremely small. So in reality, not all $16,000 of that cap is actually getting distributed. We've made the decision at LPT that from the very beginning, we're going to split that revenue that's coming to the company in half. So 50% of it. So if you've got a $15,000 cap, $7,500 goes into the revenue share pool. $7,500 is going to the company for us to be able to stay profitable and sustainable in good markets and bad markets and everything else. So that's how our revenue share works. I'm going to put a chart somewhere on the screen right now to kind of show you what the levels look like. So again, you've got 7 tiers that can pay you revenue share. And based on the tier that someone falls in, the percentage of the revenue that you're going to get as that top sponsoring agent is going to vary. So I'm going to put I'll put a little chart up on the screen to kind of show you what that looks like. Tier 1, the people that you bring in directly, those are the people that are going to pay the most, followed by tier 2, and then followed by tier 7, and then 2. So it kind of varies, but we'll put that up there so you get an idea. But I just want you to understand kind of how this is working and what the benefit is. So the long-term benefit of this is long-term residual revenue that can build wealth. And so again, as you come in and you're introducing agents to the model, they get excited about it, they join, they sell real estate, they have friends that get excited about it and join and sell real estate. You're going to earn a percentage of that commission for your job of helping grow the company by bringing those agents in. And again, we just want you to understand kind of how that works, how you're going to actually get compensated for doing that. And this is something, guys, that when you look at the companies out there that have done this in the past and what the results we're already seeing here at LPT Realty are, it's pretty incredible. And so this is something that I think a lot of agents kind of look at as gravy. We've heard that a lot of the calls that we have with agents, they kind of say, like, we were ready to join with the flat fee, with the listing power tools, with all the other things that you guys have to offer. The fact that you get the revenue share on top of that is just gravy. That's the icing on the cake, but that's the thing that's going to allow you later on in your career, when you want to start selling less real estate but still continue to earn income. This is the thing that's going to allow you to do that. And there's not a lot of opportunities out there in the marketplace to get paid long-term recurring residual revenue for the work that you're already doing as an agent.
Yeah, you know what's really exciting is that your state right now, if you're watching this video between now and before June 30th of 2023, your state is in early adopter stage. And so you have this ability right now to come in to where you only need 15 active agents on your front line to get paid on all 7 levels. Now, I don't want you to join LPT just because of this Rev Share model. That's not the point. We're real estate first, and we're going to go into core values here very quickly. But to understand the way that this model is set up is that it puts you in a position to be way more realistic. It gives you the opportunity to much more easier get a benefit for attracting agents. And the best way to typically attract agents is one, YouTube, but two, more importantly, it's to actually sell real estate. You know, one of the things that's not on here is that they do this agent attract for you. So when you actually close a deal, they will send information out kind of on your behalf to attract other agents based on your sales. When I opened up my own brokerage years ago, I didn't do any recruiting. I did so much business that people were like, oh, you opened a business? Oh, I want to come join you. That's one of the beautiful things here. And the way this model is, if you really compare apple to apples and you truly understand on the back end of what's happening, this is just, there's so much reality to this. But let's talk about core values for a second. And one of the other cool things is I know that Marc's going to make sure that there's a download. So if you want a copy of the sheet, there'll be a download. Just put in your email because we're going to bombard you. No, I'm just kidding. We're not going to do that. But if you want this sheet, plug in your information. We'll give you the sheet. Happy to do that and happy to update you every time that these sheets get updated. But let's talk about core values for a minute. You know, this is real estate first. That is truly the message that Robert Palmer is putting out to everybody in this business. It's extremely important to him. And you can tell by the actions that he's taking. You can tell by these beta programs of him providing leads and helping out other agents and giving people marketing systems to build their business. You know, here's one thing I can tell you is that you can be successful at any real estate brokerage you're at. You can, because ultimately it's going to be up to you and your efforts and the amount of time and energy and things that you put into it. What I would be looking at if I were you is what company is going to help me grow my business? What are they doing to help me go from 12 transactions to 18 transactions? How is it helping me go from 25 transactions to 35 transactions? Like, it's literally the business and the brokerage that you choose could make the difference of you growing your business by 20 to 30% based on the value you're getting for the systems that you're getting. And so these core values are all tied to real estate first. So I'm going to read it right from the piece of paper for you. I'll probably have Marc join in with me. And so the first one is this. Real estate first. To encourage agents to focus on real estate sales versus recruiting and help agents reach 100% commission on real estate sales sooner. Agents must first have one full core transaction and revenue share is applied to the cap first. So first and foremost, if you're not selling real estate, you have no ability to get revenue share here. As of right now, that may change down the road, but as of right now, that's the way it's set up. And the other cool thing is people are like, well, I don't know how your model is sustainable. Well, it's sustainable because it's being built for the business to actually get money to help pour back into the agents. What does that mean? That means everybody gets to put in money. So at a lot of the other revenue share places, whenever you get revenue share, that wasn't going towards the cap. Here, as a revenue share partner, your revenue share, your cap has to get paid first before you do anything. So that's why focusing on real estate first means that everybody needs to sell at least something. You need to sell at least one home every 6 months, which if you're doing any business at all, that's extremely doable to do. The second core value is LPT requires significantly less active direct sponsored agents than other models, allowing agents to focus on real estate sales and not focus on recruiting to unlock all 7 levels. Significantly less active direct people. We just talked about that. Right now, as an early adopter, it's 15, right? I mean, I'm already at, I think I have 17 or 18 already. You know, I was never near that at the last brokerage that I was with.
And how long have you been with LPT now?
Less than a year.
Yeah. So in less than a year, AJ has already unlocked all 7 levels. For contrast, and again, this is not bashing anyone. It's just it's just the reality that when you take, say, like an EXP, which has 40 frontline qualifying agents. So again, that's an agent that's selling at least, and I think they have recently changed their definition of what a frontline qualifying agent is, which is a little bit harder to get that now. But the latest numbers that we have seen from agents at EXP was about 24. Yeah, it's about 24, 26 agents out of 87,000. Out of 87,000, you've got 24 that are actually able to unlock all 7 levels versus, again, when you lower that threshold to something realistic, right? Where you can realistically say, I absolutely could get 15. Like that's a huge, so I didn't want to cut you off, but
Yeah,
like
you're good.
that's a huge difference. And it from the outside, it may not seem like a huge difference, but when you have the inside knowledge of what agents are actually able to do in a model that requires 40, you see how many are actually able to do that, and it's a struggle every single month. And instead of your focus being on selling real estate, you're going, shoot, I just dropped from 41 to 39. I got to go back out and recruit 2 frontline qualifying agents so I can get back on my 7th level, and that's just taking your focus away from actually selling real estate. We want to avoid that by keeping real estate first, lowering that number to something that's manageable and realistic.
Yeah, and that 15 gets locked in. So as an early adopter, that locks in. It'll never change. That's one of the benefits of getting in early. Early adopter, get in early and look at the potential of where this company could be, because we don't really know, but with the rate that things are growing, right? We're at 3,500, we're probably gonna be at 4,000 really soon. I know we're opening another state within the next 60 days. Like, think about the potential. Yeah. The third one is to provide a level playing field for agents focused on real estate sales versus recruiting. Agents are prohibited from offering anything of value for being named as a sponsor. We are not allowed to add anything as value for you to be a sponsor. So don't ask.
We've been asked.
People do ask.
We get asked a lot because that's the culture, right? That other people are familiar with.
Yeah, what I love so much as part of our culture, and it doesn't say it here and here, is this cross downline cooperation. Cross downline cooperation. I know there's been huge frustrations from other companies about the issue about being in a downline that isn't working for them. Now, once again, we need to take personal responsibility. So I would never allow you to blame another person for your failures or your lack of success. But here's the beautiful thing is that when you have a culture of contribution, a culture of collaboration, I literally work with multiple people from different downlines all the time. And it's because Robert Palmer has said specifically that's what is going to happen. He doesn't allow anybody to offer anything of any value that you wouldn't offer to anybody even in the public. And I love this fact, and it's really made a huge difference in my excitement for the business. And I don't know if you want to add anything to that or not.
Yeah, I just think again, getting back to having 15, and again, early adopter, 15 frontline qualifying agents. Just so everyone knows, the long-term goal is 20. That's what we're at in Florida. So AJ and I are in Florida, and in Florida right now, we're out of our early adopter stage. We added 2,800 agents in under a year. We're out of that phase. We're growing at a more normal rate right now. So the early adopter phase is over. We have 20. That's the long-term goal is 20. That's what the whole long-term business model is based around. But there are tangible values. There's intangible values of joining a company that has a revenue share. Essentially, if you think of it like a multi-level marketing aspect to it, where it's always more beneficial to join early, right? Agent number 800 is going to have a lot more opportunity to attract than agent 80,000. Now, we still think agent 80,000 is going to have a lot of runway ahead of them with where we see this growth going, but not as much as agent 800. So there are tangible benefits of getting into companies like this earlier. This is a real benefit that you can actually see on paper, where for the rest of your time at LPT, you only have to have 15 agents versus waiting to join until after the early adoption phase is over, and then you're at that long-term 20. On the adding something of value, so that's one way that we've made it more realistic and more of a level playing field. This not adding something of value is something that some agents at some other brokerages are probably going to criticize us for, and I think that's interesting, because what it's really doing again is leveling the playing field. And if you think about it, AJ and I have the time, energy, effort, and resources available that if we wanted to, we could put together an amazing, course or training or something like that was exclusively available only to people who join us in our downline for free. If you don't join us in our downline, it's not available to you. We could do that. However, what does that do to you as an agent who maybe doesn't join underneath of us, and you want to attract some agents and you don't have the time, energy, effort, resources available to make that thing that you can give away for free? What's the likelihood of you finding an agent who actually wants to join? You have inspired them to join. You should be their sponsor because you introduced them to the model. You are influential on them, but we can give them more free stuff. Who do you think they're going to join? You or us? They probably join us. That's not the goal here. The goal is to keep this as pure as possible, and that the sponsor that you select should be the person who is most influential on your decision to join the brokerage. That's the point, not who can give you the most free stuff. So while we could play that game, if we were available to, we love the fact that we can't play that game because we want to be pure attraction. Where the reason you want to join LPT and have AJ and I name you as your sponsor is that we've been the biggest influence and impact and provided the most value. And so that's just, I think, is another way of leveling the playing field and make it actually attainable for agents to actually earn rev share. And that's why you see other brokerage models that have this, where 90% of the agents that are at these brokerage models that have revenue share are getting 0 in revenue share because it gets stacked. It all gets stacked to one side. So,
one thing that I love about this concept is that I like to add value, and I don't want to be limited to who I add value either. Right? I have literally 2 trainings I'm doing next week for people from different downlines. We have a mastermind that's open to the public. You could actually join our Relentless Mastermind group on Facebook anytime you want. Like, it's so beautiful to have that freedom to be able to lead and inspire and grow and not be putting this pressure on yourselves of only focusing on the people that join your downline. So it's super cool. I'm going to jump real quick because I want to make sure Mark has the opportunity to talk about performance awards for stocks. Stocks. Really, really important. We're going to end in stocks because I think it's imperative for your choice in deciding where you're going to go. But also as a new agent mentorship, we do have training. We do have mentorship. There's a mentorship program for anyone who's done less than 3 transactions in the last 12 months. You get to join. You have a coach. You have a trainer. You have a system. They take 50-50 percentage split on your first 3 deals. But the difference between this and a lot of companies is they are corporate coaches. They do not do any real estate and they do not have any sort of revenue share or recruiting. So they are completely focused on just helping agents grow their business and become the best version and learn how to use all of the tools at LPT. It's a great program. If you're with a team, you don't have to go through that program because the team has been qualified to make sure to be able to help you just like they're helping you too. So I'm going to leave it to finish up for you with stocks if you'd like.
Yeah, so stocks is the second part of the value that we provide to agents to create that long-term wealth, that sustainable income that gives you that retirement plan. And that's a huge piece that's missing for most agents. So again, you've got the opportunity if you want to do some agent attraction. It's a very easy model to attract to because once people see it, they can't unsee it. It's a no-brainer for a lot of people. So you've got that side. But then you as the agent who's actually selling real estate or attracting agents who are selling real estate, what's another way that we can support you and add some long-term value? And that's with equity. Right? One of the most amazing things that you can have in life is equity in a business, right? You've already got, equity in your own business as a real estate agent, but how can you get equity in another business that's growing at a very rapid rate and has a lot of long-term growth potential? And that's by joining a company like LPT Realty that awards you stock based on performance. And so right now we're not a publicly traded company. And so the only way that you can legally get stock from LPT Realty is through either actively selling a core real estate transaction or by attracting an agent who then sells a core real estate transaction. So those are the only 2 ways that you can do that. I'm not going to go into too much detail about the details because I'm going to put another chart on the screen that you can see here so you can see what the breakdown is. But essentially within our stock awards, you're going to be getting stock on your first deal, your third deal, your 15th deal, and your 35th deal. So those are the 4 times throughout the sales process in your calendar year that you can get awarded stock. Now understand this is per year. So this is not a one-time thing. And that's a question we get as well, is it's like, oh, I only get stock the very first time I sell a house, and then after I sell 35 deals, I don't get any more stock. No, this is per year. So every single year, that first deal, you get stock. That third deal, you get stock. That 15th deal, you get stock. That 35th deal, you get a lot of stock. And that 35th deal is, so each of these kind of tiers has a badge associated with it. So we've got our white badge, our silver badge, our gold badge, and our black badge. The one thing that's unique about the black badge is that in order to get that stock on those 35 core transactions, you do need to be a revenue share partner. That's the only one that's different. Now, there are multipliers here that are different between a rev share partner and a business builder. You're going to see those in the chart that I've got up here. So essentially right now there's what we call our baseline shares, right? Which, you can see from the chart, 100, 1,000, 2250, but then there's a multiplier. So the other benefit of being a revenue share partner beyond the ability to actually earn that revenue is that when you get awarded stock, you do have a higher multiplier off of that baseline. So right now in the early adopters phase, you've got a 1.4 multiplier. So instead of just getting that baseline 100 shares, you're getting 140 shares with that 1.4 multiplier. So when you hit that black badge, instead of 2,250 shares, you're getting 3,150 shares. So that's something that, again, over time, cumulatively can make a big difference where you're getting 40% more stock. That can be another reason that you may want to be a revenue share partner. And again, even for someone who maybe doesn't want to do any attraction, but they're a very high producing agent where you're selling 35, 40, 50 homes a year, you're probably going to want to go that Rev Share model, again, just from the stock standpoint. Even if you don't have any downline, you're going to probably be benefited to do that there. So again, I'll put that all on the screen for you to see it. That's a huge one, guys. I mean, again, we're talking long-term wealth on a company that's seeing the exponential growth that we are. And then once we go publicly traded, obviously you could buy additional stock in the company. And I'm not sure what Robert's plan is. Some other companies that do what we do have options to buy, reduced price stock and stuff like that. We don't know anything about that yet. But in the meantime, what you're doing is you're just accruing equity. You're accruing a number of shares. We'll go public. All those shares will be worth a dollar amount. And then we go public, and that dollar amount is going to appear in your account one day.
Yeah, and that's the cool thing. It's pre-IPO, which means there is zero value for the stock right now. But here's the other cool thing is that there isn't a value attached. You're getting shares. And so I don't know what the average amount of stock is per real estate company right now, but the market is low right now, right? It's somewhere between $15 and $20 a share. So if we just use that concept as low, if we're one of the lower ones, right? If you've got we probably we'll be at like 30,000. I don't know how many agents we'll be at, but let's just pretend it's $15 a share and you get 1,000 shares. That's an extra 15 grand, right? That's an extra $15,000.
We're not saying the stock's to be worth $15.
No, we're not.
just to clarify for any kind of SEC stuff. We're not saying that.
But I'm just giving you like a general example, right? Just a general example of understanding the power of shares. And I think that's the cool thing because eventually it will change. But I think it's just really exciting to have that pre-IPO opportunity that this is the only way to get shares right now because Robert Palmer is the sole owner. There are no investors. It's all of his money. And so it's like really cool to be part of this kind of helping this company grow and build.
So when you help the company grow, that's the last way that you help the company grow when you sell real estate, but the other way you help the company grow is by attracting agents. And so the other way that you can earn stock is through sponsorship performance awards. So when you sponsor a direct sponsor, so someone who's in your tier one and they sell their very first deal, you also are going to be awarded stock. And so right now the baseline shares are 180 and that revenue share partner, you still got that 1.4 multiplier. So that bumps you up to 252 shares. So you got 10 agents that you sponsor right now, and they all sell a deal. That's 2,520 shares that you would get just for attracting agents who then go on to sell real estate and help the company grow. So.
Super exciting, you guys.
That's a lot. We were hoping to do this in 15 minutes, but there's just a lot here, guys. But we just want to keep bringing these to you as things change so that you can stay up to date in your specific state. There's not a lot out there right now that's kind of breaking down the differences between Florida and Virginia and Texas, Colorado, North Carolina, Tennessee. So we just want to make this available to you so that in your respective state, you know what is current with LPT. So there's no surprises. Yeah. We try to be as open and transparent as possible, and this is part of it.
And we look forward to meeting you, so because I know Mark's going to put below, if you want to schedule a one-on-one Zoom, if you want to take this research stage to the next level, or if you're ready to go ahead and make the switch, just click the button below, set up a Zoom call with us, or just hit the link, and we'll be rocking and rolling with you.
Yeah, look forward to talking to you guys onto a Zoom. Hope this was helpful. We're going to see you guys on the next one when things change, and hopefully there'll be a lot of really cool stuff that we can roll out to you when that happens.
Have a great day.
We'll see you next time, guys.